big thank you to Dan Sherman at Pacific Plumbing Supply for inviting PHCC of Washington, our Executive Director Todd Allred, and myself, Dennis the Apprentice, to podcast at their trade show. Celebrating their 75th year in business, Pacific Plumbing Supply put on and hosted their first plumbing and heating show, focusing mostly on new technology in the heating space. It was at the Angel of the Winds Casino in Arlington, and it was the perfect spot. Hundreds of people enjoyed the venue, the food, learning about what's new in our industry, and maybe one of the best parts was getting out of the office and out of the field and getting to know each other a little bit better. An open bar and a bowling alley was a nice touch as well. I wish you could have been there, but if you couldn't make it, maybe the next best thing would be getting to know our next guest. Aaron Wolfe, welcome to the PHCC booth at the Pacific Plumbing Trade Show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too, and I'm super excited to see you because you and I have a little bit of history.
We do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're a licensed plumber.
I am.
And
Yep.
what's your position now?
So I'm the plumbing foreman, right?
Okay.
So it kind of encompasses quite a few things. I supervise, manage, and build a plumbing division, right? So I kind of do the field supervision as well as the stuff on the back end. The company I work for pretty much looks to me to do everything plumbing related at the company. So
Awesome. Pull this just a little bit tighter. So are you in the field? Are you out of a truck, or where are you at in that?
So not technically in the field. I do go out there if I need to be of support and go do field escalations if needed, or go talk to customers if I need to, but I spend most of my time in an office.
Awesome. Hey, are you an apprentice, or do you work with an apprentice that could use a boost? Hey, I developed a program just for you. It's called Trade Traction. It's like college prep in high school, except for the trades, right? Hey, the apprenticeship is really cool, but you only get it one time. You only get it once. Let's do this right. Let's get the most out of our apprenticeship. Let's become the best we can be through our apprenticeship. And maybe more importantly, let's make sure we build a reputation that will serve us in our trade for the rest of our lives. Hey, check out Trade Traction. It'll do you good. And that took you how long? How long have you been in the trade?
So I've been in the trade for pretty much 6 years now.
So 6 years you went into as an apprentice, got your license, and are already into management in 6 years.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So how'd you get attracted to the trade?
Well, I think like most people in the trade, I never thought I was going to be a plumber.
Absolutely.
Was never something I thought about, right?
Right.
But, I always worked on cars and tinkered with things growing up through high school and stuff, and I was working for a tire shop, which I think is a similar story to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of doing something mechanical related. And I had a family friend that worked for another plumbing company that was local and had said, hey, we have an apprenticeship available. And at the time, I wasn't really super interested, but there came a day where I wasn't getting what I wanted from what I was doing, and I called him back. I said, hey, do you guys still have that apprenticeship available? He's like, dude, come by, let's talk. So I did. I got an apprenticeship, and I'm doing the thing.
Awesome. So did you even know what an apprenticeship was?
Kind of, sort of, I think that I'm lucky to be a part of a generation where people are trying to get people educated on that subject.
Right.
Especially now, 6 years later, but when I was going through high school, it was something that I knew about,
right.
And I knew that there was good money in the trades.
Right.
I guess I never really saw myself being that person. I definitely thought I was going to go into mechanics, like auto mechanics, but
Sure.
A different path was in front of me, and I took it.
Right. Very cool. And so, so you moved around a little bit. So what made what attracted you from one company to the next?
Well, this is going to sound kind of cheesy, and my wife thinks it's cheesy, but I say that my favorite thing to do is the constant pursuit of progress.
Yes.
Right? Like, I don't like being stagnant. I'm always looking for the next thing, the next better thing to do, because, I see myself being a successful husband and maybe father someday, and being able to provide.
Right.
And I just enjoy the feeling of progression, right? Feeling like I'm doing something greater than just showing up to work every day.
Right. And so a company that provides that
Yep.
and offers that, someone's going to take it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. Very cool. And so how do you like, do you miss the field, or how is that to go from the field to the office?
It's been interesting.
It's a different world.
It is. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I enjoy it in a different way.
Okay.
right? I've definitely found myself pursuing like projects at home more because I definitely like working with my hands. Like we were just we were changing our stock area at the office, and I was like, I want to spend a few minutes putting some shelves together because I enjoy working with my hands, right? And I've spent so much time on the computer doing emails, doing all the things that you do in the office, right? And I enjoy that a lot, right? But then I kind of think about it, I'm like, man, if I'm not in the field, if I'm not working with my hands, like what's going to happen? I better find a way to work with my hands more. So it's been interesting, but I've liked it.
Right. Do you do laundry?
I do laundry.
You do?
I do.
At the shop?
Oh, no, not at the shop.
Okay.
No, I thought you meant in general. No.
Yeah.
No, we have a pretty awesome crew of warehouse staff that do that.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate to have a pretty awesome warehouse staff.
Yeah. I used to get up from my desk, go downstairs, and I would do the laundry just because I wanted to do something tangible, right?
Yeah.
Take something dirty, clean it, and fold it perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Once you get in the office, you can't really get it done the way you would do it out in the field necessarily.
Yeah. No, if it's stacked up, I'd totally do it.
Right.
But they're on top of it. I wouldn't even
That's
get the
awesome.
chance. Yeah.
You work with a big enough company that's got that in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was funny was when I left, then the next manager, he started doing laundry.
Yeah.
And it was like, it feels good, doesn't it, to get out of this office
Yep.
and just go do something tangible.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. So, how do you find techs now? You're in the job of looking for techs, right?
Yeah. It's a process, right? Because it's hard to find plumbers, and it's even harder to find good plumbers.
Right.
Honestly, most of the people that I have on my crew now, I have a crew of 6, they've come to me, right?
Sure.
I feel like I've done a pretty good job over the course of my career so far of making friends and knowing people.
Right.
And after I hired the first person, people talk, people see each other at supply houses, and I end up getting calls. Right. We've taken a lot of interviews, but the people that I've hired have mostly been people that I either knew through previous employment or friends of a friend or whatever the case is. So I've been pretty fortunate that people have found me.
Awesome. So be attractive.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yep.
Be cool. Be attractive. Don't be an asshole.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Are you developing apprentices?
We just hired our first apprentice.
Okay.
And we are looking to hire another one soon. I kind of like the ratio for service work. I like the ratio of 3 plumbers to 1 apprentice.
Okay.
Just so that you kind of have enough apprentices to go around, but you don't have anybody sitting around.
Right. What are you looking for in an apprentice?
Someone that's driven, number 1.
How do you tell if the person's driven?
It is hard to tell, but I think you can, upon the interview, depending on how much effort they put into kind of selling themselves is huge, right? If someone shows up and what they'd show up to their mom's house in, clothing wise and stuff like that, it's a little bit different than someone that shows up and tries to impress. Someone that sends a resume. I've been so surprised with how many people don't send resumes. They're just like, hey, can I come talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. But then the person after that says, hey, I'm interested in a job. Here's my resume. How do I apply? Someone that's intentional is huge.
Actually interested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, actually interested in...
Put some effort.
Mm-hmm. Someone that's interested in not just becoming an apprentice, but becoming a plumber. Right? Like you'll find a lot of people that are just like, oh, I just need a job. Right? I'm not looking for someone that just needs a job. I'm looking for someone that wants to do the thing, become a plumber, and be successful in the trade.
Because it takes so much energy. I think a lot of young people don't realize that it's actually going to slow a plumber down to put energy into an apprentice and teach them. And so you don't want to waste your time.
No.
And so you're looking for someone that's actually going to take what you teach them and do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
So being interested is super important.
Yeah.
Where are you just putting ads in? How does it? If I was a young person wanting to work for you, how would I find you?
Indeed's a big one.
Indeed?
Right?
Okay.
Indeed, that's where we get a lot of our applicants from. Just apply. We have ads everywhere. Right? So, chances are if you Google company I work for and job offer, you'll find a way to apply.
Right.
We also do, how do I put this? We entertain pretty much anybody that's interested, right? So if I'm like out in the field or I'm out doing something like this and somebody walks up to me and says, hey, like, what's going on? What do you guys do? Like, Are you interested in hiring? I'm always happy to talk to people.
Right. Very cool. And you never know what that leads to.
No, you never know.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, thanks for being on the show. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad too. It's going to be fun.
They're putting on a really good show. This is their first time doing this. So
I know.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looks good.
Good to see you.
You too.
Well, that's a wrap. I hope you picked up a thing or two from the interview. Like and subscribe to see more of the interviews from the show. And be sure to let Pacific Plumbing Supply have a major role in your business success.